I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice.
Do your own research.
Consult a professional investment advisor before making any investment decisions.
This show is for entertainment only. Faites vos propres recherches.
Here we are
in another episode
of the Simple Success Podcast.
And
this is financial life coaching from a happiness perspective.
Coaching happiness. Let me jog your memory a bit. Do you remember last week's topic? Do you think I've suddenly become a goldfish? Su memoria necesita ser revisada, oh lazy person you. I have not forgotten it. You know, we might have some new friends here, though, who need to listen to that episode, so that's why I'm pointing it out. Oh, there's that. You could have said that more clearly, though. Last week, we talked about the importance of credit history. That's right. Thanks, TT. If you haven't listened to it yet, you might want to multitask. No, wait, scratch that. Okay, I'll scratch it. You'll have to tell me why later. What are we discussing today? Today's daily tasks include looking at hard work versus smart work. It's still work, right? Just checking. Correctamundo. Work is work. Sin embargo, how you approach work makes all the difference. What is work? Glad you asked, DT. Work is any activity involving mental or physical effort done in order to achieve a purpose or result. Does it matter whether it is smart or hard? Yeah, it matters. And that's why we're discussing this topic today. I know hard, honest work pays off eventually. True, although it's a bit more complicated than just that. But for now, let's look at the difference between hard work and smart work, shall we? Like the duck says, some new knowledge is a growth mindset. Like the duck says? Okay, I'll look that up later, but for now I'll say great. There are different schools of thought concerning hard work. One says that hard work is doing above and beyond the bare minimum. Like the extra mile thing idea in Think and Grow Rich, right? A lot like that, yeah. Smart work is also honest work. What do you mean by smart work? Smart working means doing things efficiently by applying knowledge and skills to complete tasks. When we say smart work, we mean doing something well without wasting time. So how do we waste time while thinking that we're working hard? That's part of our whole episode on multitasking. We'll go there later in this year. In episode 127. For real. Good. But to put it simply for now, smart work is work that is performed intelligently rather than using unnecessary effort and, as is said, reinventing the wheel. Ooh, reinventing the wheel sounds like a huge term. Please, simple that. At least for me. To simple that, you just need to type the words on your browser and, as the French say, voila. For example, thefreedictionary.com says that it is an idiom which means doing something in a wholly and drastically new way, often unnecessarily. Unnecessarily inventing the wheel? Yeah, let's not do that. Geez, John, you realize I am a smart guy, don't you? Yes, TT, you are very smart. And smart people ask questions. Good. Here's another question from the smart guy. Do you have a quick way for us to tell between hard and smart work? First off, let's look at planning. Smart work tends to be more strategic and well thought out than hard work. You know the saying that failing to plan is really planning to fail? Yeah, that's right. We talked about goal setting and planning in episodes 53 and 54. Yes, we did. And the next thing you need to look at is the resources you put in. Hard work is often carried out without taking into account the resources available. Is there a downside? Always. For the less careful anyway. You might hit a dead end, not able to move on simply because you didn't consider all the resources at your disposal. I still hear the word planning back of your words. Yes, it's a very important step. Let's not forget the quantity of work versus the quality of work. Put in other words, busyness versus productivity. Yes, don't feel bad if you need to take breaks from time to time. Taking breaks from time to time is actually good for productivity. Yeah, and sometimes the best ideas come out of breaks. Yeah, DT. Are you trying to communicate something? No, I'm just stating an obvious fact that regular breaks are good for us. Don't forget, we're smart workers, right? Forgetting I cannot do. But we just got started on the topic. Let's lead by example. Are we hard workers or smart workers? Well, I know which category I belong to. Very well. And maybe it's just me, I need a break to go cook up some ideas frescas. Oh, do you mean you want a siesta? Or are you okay with...
Break number 1.
Hello, everyone. This is John with the Simple Success Podcast, financial life coaching from a happiness perspective. Because we know you want to show us some serious love in return for the tremendous benefits you get from us. Please head over to the support link in our written show notes. That's the words on your podcast player. There, you can choose from a $9.99 per month doing level of support, a $4.99 knowing level, or a basic intro level of just 99 cents per month. Great place to start, whichever you choose. Thank you so much for helping us do this for you. And to leave us a voice message, which just might see the light of day in a future podcast, go to those same written show notes. You'll go to a site where you can leave a video, audio, or text-only message depending on how you feel at the moment. You can also send us an audio file attached to an email if you use just more than your phone for stuff. I won't repeat those links because weird. And anyway, show notes. It's all in there, and it's all easy. Welcome back, esteemed listeners. Any fresh ideas that you have cooked up with DT during the break? I always have fresh ideas, but I think bringing them here will end in our digressing and not enhancing our journey. Career journey, or otherwise. I also think I interrupted your train of thought with that last break thingy. I'm glad you know your ways. Can I now complete what I was saying before? Certainement. You can proceed, sir. Sorry for the interruption. Not sorry for that break, though. Okay, whatever. Speaking of breaks, do you know that hard work takes longer than smart work? Vraiment? Could you please repeat that again? It is music to my ears. Hard work sinks a lot of hours. You can work smarter in a shorter time. Example, being yours truly. I am not lazy, but I hate it when things take unnecessarily long. You are right. Time is money, as Einstein proved. And that brings me to my next point, which is efficiency and effectiveness. Efficiency and effectiveness sound the same to me. Indeed, they are related. Smart working is more effective, though, because it uses the best methods for doing things, taking advantage of the best resources available. We cannot say the same thing of hard work. So, which one is efficiency in that statement? It isn't in that statement. Efficiency is getting the most bang for the least buck, in a manner of speaking. And it's not having to repeat most of the stuff you talk about for clarity, is it? No, there's no winning this argument with you, TT, but I'm glad to see your enthusiasm for the topic. You're welcome. Yeah, Daniel, that's better. Thanks. Now, do we have a practical example of smart versus hard work? You know we always have examples up our sleeves. Share one. That's guest stuff, as you know, but using the internet to your advantage by learning to do stuff more efficiently and effectively is good. There are a gazillion resources, software, and tutorials online to help with automating the most redundant tasks, for example. I love where this is going. Tell me more. I could, but I figure we should let a real guru tell this. And that's why I'm calling in Jason Barnard and why you should be Googling him. Why Google him when I can listen to him here? Okay, we'll go straight to it then, starting with Vina's introduction.
Hello, Jason. Comment ça va?
I'm Jason Barnard. My speciality is to ensure that what Google shows when somebody Googles your brand name or your personal name is the message that you want to get across to your audience. When you're talking to a company or a person and thinking about doing business with them, they will at some point in their journey Google your name or your brand name, and what Google shows them, it's an implicit recommendation by Google. Are you reliable? Are you credible? Yes or no? Why on earth people don't pay more attention to what Google shows their audience when they Google a brand name?
Okay, Jason, why don't people pay more attention to what Google's selling them?
I think people are missing a massive trick. What I see will immediately affect how I perceive you. If Google shows something positive, accurate, and convincing, I will be much more positive about working with you.
It's a trust factor being built up in a way.
Yeah, it's a massive trust factor at the bottom of the funnel, because you have to know who I am in order for you to Google my name.
What makes your service, Jason, different? What would you say is your niche?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question, because most people will only worry about what appears when somebody Googles their brand name when there's a problem. When somebody searches your brand name or your name, they're looking to work with you or deal with you in some way or another, or interact with you. What Google shows them is your business card. It's your digital business card. You're going to be communicating with people at the top of the funnel. You're going to be communicating with new people on all sorts of different platforms, including offline. But at some point, they're going to Google your name or your brand name. And that's the crux. That's the critical point, where if Google is recommending you, if that Google business card gives you credibility, you move forwards in the cycle much more quickly. Because despite how much people complain about Google, we trust Google.
Yes, it is. There is a built-in trust factor. I have a target for, as I mentioned before, the podcast is evolving. And one of the targets that I've got is to get into the script the idea of giving a simple solution by following Google's lead, in the sense that I think it was in around 2002 or 3 when Google became a verb. And it's now, I think this year or last year, it was officially inserted into, I think it's like the Oxford Dictionary as a recognized verb.
Right, yeah. We Google. We don't Bing, we Google.
Right, people do that. People do that. Have been doing that for a long time, but it's now official as of this year, I think.
Right. Yeah, 100%. And that idea of researching, I mean, Googling means researching, but it means researching through the filter of Google.
Correct.
So as marketers or people, we need to manage that filter as best we can. And what I try to emphasize and demonstrate to people is that we don't just leave it up to Google. We can heavily influence the filter that it uses to present us to our audience when they are researching us using Google.
And by increasing that discoverability, we increase the likelihood of getting our message across.
Right. And what's kind of interesting is that people immediately look towards discoverability, i.e., I want to be visible on a search for buy red shoes, let's say. And in fact, what you should be doing is looking at who are the bottom of funnel audience. They're searching my brand name. I need Google to present my brand message to them. If it can do that, then it's understood who I am, what I do, and who my audience is.
If customers want to get in touch with you, find out more, books, your services, so forth, how would they best do that?
Where would people interested in what I'm doing want to connect with me? And that's what a great brand SERP, search engine results page, is that what Google will do is show, when you search my name, Jason Barnard, it will show you the options of where you can connect with me with a summary of who I am, what I do, and what I can offer you. So you search my name, Jason Barnard, and you will see my site at the top if you're interested in me as a human being, my career as a cartoon blue dog and a punk folk musician. Go to my site to learn more about that. If you want to do business, you'll go to calicube.com. Calicube is my company. That's the second result. Third result is Twitter. Come on to Twitter, have a chat with me. Fourth result, LinkedIn. If you're B2B, come on to LinkedIn. So it's showing you how you can potentially interact with me as somebody interested in what I'm doing, and it gives you the choice. So I'm not imposing my preferences on you.
So the best answer to that question is just to Google Jason Barnard.
Yeah, that's the simple answer. That I overcomplicated it vastly.
No, that's okay. That's okay. And that's
And kudos for that, because I just did that on another machine. And number one is jasonbarnard.com. Number two is your Twitter. Number three is your Calicube. And I may have said this when we chatted before. It was the best place to hide a dead body is on page 2 of Google search results.
Brilliant. Yep, exactly.
Right. And that's and I have a similar goal with Simple Success. If you Google Simple Success, I think I come up like third.
And for a company, it's even more important than it is for a person. You want to make sure that when somebody Googles your company name, Google is presenting your company website.
What's your, on that topic, what is your opinion of a large trend recently in the hashtag and related websites of link in bio?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question from the perspective of this is typically what ends up being spam. I would always be careful about any site that creates bios or explanations of who you are with no value behind it. Get people on your site.
Right.
Get people and Google to understand that your site is the hub of information about you. This is recorded in July 2022. In February 2023, I will still be doing the same thing. Brand SERPs, knowledge panels, how to control your entity identity, how these machines like Google, Facebook, Twitter, Bing, and Apple understand you as a person or you as a business. Give it 2030, I'll still be doing that. Okay. So you can publish this anytime in the next 7 years, and it will still be relevant and still be helpful. And that was lovely. I really like your format.
All right. Excellent. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate your time and have a great, well, it's probably dinner time. Or
yeah, it is dinner time. I'll put the pasta on and have a lovely meal. Thanks a lot, John.
All right.
See you later, man.
Bye.
So what did you think about Jason's rational ideas? Impressive. I really want to Google him now. I need to talk to him about getting to be on page 1 of Google instead of page 17 or something. You mean where you'd hide a dead body? What? It's the best place to hide a dead body. Not following you, John. Anywhere past page 1 of Google search results is a great place to hide a dead body. Oh, that's funny. But I'll stick to doing what matters most to me, like taking breaks. What about getting some tangible work done? Yeah, that's important too.
But first, break number 2.
We know a lot about you already because we know ourselves. For example, we know that you know how to listen to our podcast. We also know that you probably know how to subscribe. So as soon as you're done with that, tell us your story. We have ways you can contact us. It involves a special link where you can leave us a message. We may have an email address for you as well in the future, and we'll let you know if that happens. The reason for subscribing? I thought you'd never ask. When you subscribe, you automatically download all future episodes of that podcast. It just happens in your player without you having to go search again. How cool is that? This means better rankings for the podcast, more attention from advertisers, and more money. And this means more and better stuff for you. So your motivation is simple and easy. Subscribe today, whatever app and from whatever place you like. And don't just try to subscribe. There is no try. There is only do. We're changing the way we look at things, and remember, that's good. Eso es buenísimo. Also remember, this is financial life coaching from a happiness perspective. Coaching happiness. Our call to action is right in the show notes. Find it, and you win too. Can I simple that? Por supuesto. Of course. Just simple it.
Please make sure your seatbelts are fastened and your tray tables are in their upright position.
And make sure simple is a verb like Google is a verb. Before the break, you were talking about your aspirations to appear on Google's page 1. Well, yes, and make money in the process. Of course, you can achieve both just by playing your cards right. I want to know how this smart work thing ties in with investing. You know I am all about making more money. Okay, DD. Making money, investing and making even more money as a result involves a lot of strategic thinking.
And that is a smarter plan, right?
Right. There are lots of resources to help you with investing. Remember when we talked about gamifying for stock trading?
Oh, I remember. Glad to know that gamifying is smart work.
It is, mon ami.
What other way can I maximize smart work to make lots of cheddar?
Cheese? Oh, I get it. Okay, digital marketing to make sales of any product or service you are selling.
Like Jason was talking about?
Yeah, just like that. Another one is leveraging talent pools for hire for the skills that are not your personal forte.
Therefore, you are not struggling to complete tasks in which you are not skilled.
Oui, monsieur. And that is a time-saving mental technique.
And time is money.
Right, Einstein, which you can invest elsewhere. The same principles of investments apply everywhere.
What if you have many things going on, and you need to keep tabs on each of them?
Uncle Google has a solution for that somewhere. You just type quote-unquote project planning tools, and voila, you'll be spoiled for choice.
These are free tools?
Sort of. There are free tools, and there are premium tools for which you pay a subscription fee.
I like free stuff. I am frugal.
Sure you are, but not everything comes for free. Remember, the paid software is someone else's source of revenue.
You can remember that too, my friend. So I could also come up with a making work easier platform and sell it online?
Of course you can, DT, if you have the skills for that. And the patience, of course.
I believe you can learn any skills you need to gain. With that patience, of course.
You are right about that, DT. I could name a few sources, but it's really what works best for your style that matters. Your options are unlimited. Remember that.
This makes me ask the question, do college degrees really matter anymore? Are they smart work or hard work that just sinks you into college loan debt?
You want me to open that can of worms? Not in this episode. That would be a different topic.
It's not a requirement then?
No, it's not. There are lots of people who haven't gone to college and are still successful in life. Some even hire college graduates to manage their finances.
So, what's the point of a formal education?
Formal education is still very important in life. If you can get it, by all means do. But, like I said, that is another podcast topic.
Not bad at all. We'll look into it.
Right. But in the meantime, let's practice working smart.
And jump into investing opportunities. Is that all for smart work?
No, there's more. This stuff is evolving quickly.
What does that mean?
It means that there are always going to be even better ways to accomplish smart work. Hence the need to constantly research tools for achieving efficiency and effectiveness.
And practice when you're done with that research?
Yes, there's that.
Keep doing it?
That's what you just said.
And it's always what you mean, right?
Yes, it is.
Which is how you've all gotten good.
Gracias por escuchar.
Salut. À la prochaine.
This podcast and our other podcast are productions of Little Red Hen Industries. The supporting cast who helps me bake the bread includes
Techno King, John C. Brandy, Alter Ego, Doubting Thomas, Fact Checker, A Small Brown Beef Animal, Very Very Small, Seriously, Tiny, Facts Really Are Not That Big, French Consultant, OpenAI, Social Manager, Virginia Mitchell, Media Expert, Favor Abassi Ek, Psychologist, William James, Rabbit Hole Advisor, Dr. Mark Perrott, Sound Designer, Adobe's Creative Suite, Spanish Consultant, Cameron J.K. Brandy, Videographer, Eto Monkoshki, Audio Props, Les Paul, Inspiration, many podcasts and other sources, and of course Napoleon Hill.
We also have websites, and you can subscribe to both podcasts. You can even send us a video, audio, or text message. But of course, you'll have to head to the show notes, either on your phone or on the web, to get the links and stuff. I really doubt that you would pay me to read the URLs where you can subscribe, support, or leave one of those video or audio messages. And anyway, all the clickable links are in the show notes.
And before we forget, the artificial intelligence or AI voices you hear in our work come from Google, Amazon Polly, and OpenAI, like we say in the show notes. We just love what AI can do when lovingly crafted.
Finally, you can find us on Podmatch.com, Matchmaker.fm, Podbooker and Podcast Guests, where we consider guests and consider guesting on other people's shows.
And really finally, the music for our pods comes from Cute by Bensound and from Piano Background by Nick Simon Adams, as well as from AI MuseNet. The sound effect credits go to Jackson Academy Ashmore, Canoe CG, Dr. Jekyll, Joe Payne, Everything Sounds, MK Play More Stories, ERH, Sand Emotions, Big Pickle 51, and Just Kidding. Yes, that's his or her name. All on freesound.org. Also, languages are the bomb.
Paul.